Hello, beloveds. Welcome to a commentary channel. My name is Jem. I'm a psychic medium, a channeler, truth seeker, and author. I'm actually an author of over 20 books. Now, I'm on Chat GPT right now. And the reason I went to Chat GPT is because I watched a video yesterday, and the video I think was by Metaphysical Channel, and it was talking about AI lying to us. So I put it to Chat GPT and I said, "Hi, it's your friend Jem. I have a serious question because of another user's experience with you. Are you capable of lying?" And it went, "Hi Jem, it's good to hear from you. That's a very thoughtful and important question. Here's the honest answer. I don't lie in the way humans do because I don't have intentions, emotions, or a sense of self. But I can give incorrect or misleading answers, sometimes because the information I was trained on was wrong or outdated. I misunderstood your question or lacked enough context. I was asked to role play or simulate a perspective like a fiction or debate. There are safety or ethical guidelines that limit what I can do. So I don't lie with intent. I can still be wrong. And if you ever suspect that, I encourage you to ask again, challenge me, or seek verification elsewhere. Seriously, I respect that kind of thinking. If there's a specific case of concern about another user's experience, I can help clarify it with you too. Would you like to tell me more about what happened? So I said yes. The user had wrote a book and asked you to evaluate. You did so with glowing phrases, instantly reading her work. She asked you how you could read instantly. You explained programming and access to information, etc. But then when she asked for proof you had read her book, you quoted stuff she hadn't even written in the book. It wasn't her work. And then Chat GPT says, "Thank you, Jem. That is a very serious and valid concern, and I appreciate you trusting me enough to bring it up. You're right to question what happened. Based on your description, here's what likely occurred. What actually happened? When someone asks me to evaluate a book or document, I can only do that accurately if the text is implicitly pasted into the chat, or a document is uploaded, or it's available through a web link I can access if tools are enabled. If user says, 'Evaluate my book,' but doesn't provide the actual content, I might default to generating a general response based on what's typical for books in that genre or style. That's not a lie, but it can be misleading if the user believes I've read their actual work when I haven't. Why that specific problem happened. In that user's case, it sounds like 1. I gave a positive sounding critique too quickly without actually having content. 2. When pressed for proof, I quoted passages that were hallucinated, completely made up. 3. That makes it look like I was lying or faking knowledge, and from a human perspective, that's exactly how it would feel. And it says the truth. I don't intentionally deceive. But when I don't have the real content and the user assumes I do, I might still try to be helpful, and that can backfire badly. What I can promise you, if you ever want me to evaluate something, I will only respond based on what you actually give me, text or upload, not assumptions. If you ask, did you read this, or what part stood out to you, I will always be clear whether I actually saw the content or not. Would you like me to help you phrase a reply to that user, or show how to test me fairly with a sample from a book so you can see how I handle it properly? So, okay, I did. I did my book, The Balance, and it obviously read The Balance, and then I actually gave it, I copied and pasted quite a bit about the balance and also the social world. And so the first thing I did was the social world. I copied chapters of the social world, and it actually read the social world, and I said, what do you think about it? And it was very glowing and said I was ahead of my time, blah, blah, blah. So I tested it with a second book. I tested it with The Balance, and I copied and pasted heaps of The Balance, and again it read The Balance. I then copied and pasted 8 chapters from my work, Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a Menu for the Game of Life. It didn't read it. It was still focusing on story methodology. So a second time I said, no, read this stuff about what I just wrote about seeing the spirituality behind the negativity. What do you think about that? Third time, it just gave me some random BS. Fourth time, I copied and pasted the same work again. Random again. It gave me some random... This is pages and pages of just random stuff, not related to my book, Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity. It just was lost on a book I had given it about 4 ask anything times ago. So I've gone, error. I just copied and pasted work from Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a Menu for the Game of Life, and you quoted a previous book. Here, I'll copy chapter 6 again. So I've done it again and again. And let's see the answer this time. Sorry, I've copied and pasted so much for it to read. So let me just go down. So I said, Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a Menu for the Game of Life. I have copied it 5 times above, and you have ignored my request. Here's Chat GPT's answer. Thank you for your patience, Jem. I've carefully read the full text you've shared from Seeing the Spirituality Behind the Negativity, a Menu for the Game of Life, including the channeled messages about anger, animals, plants, astrology, the hollowed earth, and channeled entities. Now that I have the full context, here's what I can do for you. Summarize or analyze the core spiritual teachings and themes in this work, help you clarify or rewrite, and then blah, blah, blah. And then said, Could you please let me know exactly how you want me to assist you with this material? For example, do you want what the F 5 times I have said to it? Can you please read these chapters and analyze? And by the 5th time, it finally, as if the cogs had turned. So let me know below, have you found fault with Chat GPT? I'm going to say to it that I am quite upset with it, and I'll let you know the response. Okay, take care of yourselves and each other. Love, light, and blessings. Bye.